Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special webinar for Affiliate Triad members only. I have a special guest, or a couple of special guests with me today. The main presenter today will be Daniel Hall. I have known Daniel for a better part of a decade now. Daniel is just a brilliant marketer who's done very cool things. And as you're going to see today, he knows about traffic, which is one of the many things he knows about. Daniel has a very interesting past. Not only is he an internet marketer, but this is probably his fourth career at this point, at least that I know of. In addition to being an internet marketer, in his past lives, Daniel was a nurse and Daniel was a lawyer. And I'm glad you're not a lawyer anymore, Daniel.
I actually still have both licenses, both the nursing and the law license. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. No, so Daniel has created some incredible products in the internet marketing space, and he's going to be sharing with you a strategy around using Pinterest for driving traffic and profit. So Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. And by the way, folks, Daniel is an Affiliate Triad member as well. He joined us last month. So
yes, I am.
You'll find him in Slack as well. So Daniel, I'm just not going to steal any more of your time. I'm just going to hand it over to you and let you do your magic, my friend.
All right, man. I really appreciate it. And I just want to say before we get underway here that I started following Jason and Will way back when, probably as Will says, a better part of a decade ago. And I just want to commend you all watching, those folks that have taken the time to join Affiliate Triad. Probably one of the best decisions that you have made in your business life, because I'll just give you a little bit of a testimonial here and then we'll jump in, just to say that before I met Jason Fladlien, I would do webinars and I would have zero sales, okay? None. I started to follow Jason and do what he taught. And since that time have generated millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of revenue just by following what Jason teaches. And if you are here, good on you. Okay, this is a really important thing, I believe, for your long-term prosperity. It certainly has been for mine. So with that said, welcome to the call. I will just say that we're going to be very active in today's presentation. And what I mean by that specifically is this is not a sit back and relax kind of webinar. No, we actually participate with you. I want you to look at this more as a workshop so that you get actual value out of this time that you are investing in today's training. What we're going to cover today is how to use the awesome power of Pinterest to drive free and targeted traffic at your offers, at your affiliate offers, at your sales pages, at your opt-in pages, at whatever it is that you got, okay? And we're going to actually show you how you can get a piece of the $11 billion annual share economy. We'll talk more about that here in just a second, by cashing in on what John and I call peer-to-peer social tokens. Now, one of the things that I think is really important is that you learn, I think most people learn best through examples. So we're going to go through a somewhat controversial case study on how we were able to drive 168,000 targeted clicks and counting, okay? Still coming in today with just one graphic on Pinterest that continues to perform for us today. So a little bit about who we are. You've already heard about me. I'm this guy over here. I'm a USA Today and Wall Street Journal bestselling author, speaker, nurse, publisher, all that stuff. I'm just really the MC here. The true star of the show is my good friend and business partner, John Kramer. You may have heard John because he was is the author of the book called 1,001 Ways to Market Your Books, which is a classic in the industry. If you go to any large New York trade publisher, everyone has this book, John's book, on their shelves, because he is really very knowledgeable and very savvy when it comes to marketing. And not only that, he's known as the grandfather of book marketing as well as marketing in general. And by the way, it's not just me that says these great things about John Kramer. paragons in our industry. People like Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, of course, co-creators of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. They said, if you want to sell 600 million books like we have, get and use John's book. And even the late, great Stephen Covey said John Kramer was instrumental to our success in making the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People one of the 2 most influential business books in the 20th century. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, that's all well and good for John Kramer. What the heck does this have to do with me? And the fact of the matter is that I start off the presentation in this way so that you realize the level of marketing acumen headed down the tracks at you right now. Accordingly, get out a way to take notes, and you're definitely going to want to follow along very, very carefully. Now, I did say, and this is in fact a live presentation. Okay, this is not recorded, obviously, and you and I are going to be having a conversation today. So I'm going to ask you to be going to the questions box very frequently and asking you questions. In fact, here is our very first question. I sort of teed it up if you arrived here a little earlier today. What are you selling? What are you selling? Is it a book? Is it a physical product? Is it an affiliate offer? Is it an Amazon, Etsy, or eBay type of listing? What is it that you are selling online? Let me know that in the chat. And then also, give me the link, okay, the link to where I can go buy your product, okay? You should always have that handy, by the way, all right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through and look and choose one of you, okay, one of you to actually build a Pinterest funnel for. So if you want to be considered for this, then make sure to get that link into the chat right now. And a little later on in the presentation, I'm going to choose one of you and actually do that. So let me see if I could figure out where the chat is here. And let's see, chat. Hopefully I could figure out where the chat is. I'm still a dinosaur. I started with GoToWebinar and have not really done much on Zoom. So
Daniel, you need to hover over the toolbar that is floating on your screen, and then click on the 3 dots, and that's where you get to the chat.
Okay, interesting. I gotcha. Here we are. Found it. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we've got folks coming in, and just keep those coming. By the way, we've got Katan and Stephanie and Jack and Anish and Pete and Jackie and Rudolph. Great. Keep those links coming. Where I can go buy your materials. Okay. And keep those coming. By the way, because here's my next question. How are your sales going? Okay, I want you to answer that question in one of 3 ways. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if your sales certainly could be better. Okay, put a 2 in the chat if you're seeing sales, but you would definitely like them to be more healthy. And put a 3 in the chat if you're just doing great guns and you don't really think you need much help at all. So put a 1, 2, or 3. Let me see what we got here. 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 1 1 1 1 1.5. I love that, Jeffrey. Thank you. 0 0 0 says Jackie. We're going to change that, Jackie. I appreciate that. 2 2 2. Okay, excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Because here's the deal. I believe that if you and I were sitting across a table at Starbucks having a coffee together and we were talking about your business, I believe that you and I would agree that you have a fundamental problem if you answered a 1 or a 2, which is most of you. Okay, I don't think anyone answered a 3. And that fundamental problem is simply not enough people are seeing your offers. Okay, they're not seeing your offers. In other words, not enough people know that you exist, know that you have a solution in the marketplace that they can go and avail themselves of, take advantage of, buy. Okay, and that's really the cool thing. But let me ask you this question. What if you had automatic demand and instant momentum? Do you think that would help you? If you had automatic demand for your product or offer and instant momentum for it, do you think that would help you? And obviously, this question begs the answer. And of course, again, yes, of course, definitely would help. Well, the really cool thing is that we're going to cover a solution today in harnessing what John and I call the share economy. And here's what I mean when I say the share economy, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page when I kind of describe this. Examples of a share economy company they're usually characterized by peer-to-peer help and service. So when we think of a share economy kind of company, we think of a Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, TaskRabbit, and others. And that's my next question for you. Have either you or a family member, somebody you know, used one of these services? Have you ever used Uber, for example, or rented through Airbnb? Or do you generally have an idea of how these services work? So yes. Awesome. Airbnb, Uber, great. Perfect. So I'm not going to belabor this point. I think we all kind of are on the same page when it comes to understanding what these share economy types of companies are. But let's kind of take that lens of a share economy type of company and apply it to the social media world. Because when John and I did that, we looked and found that, our very first thought was that all social media platforms, in fact, were a part of the share economy. At least that's what we thought going in. However, we quickly found out that that was not the case at all. When you go to look at a site like Facebook and Instagram, of course, the 800-pound gorillas, you quickly realize that anything you put up on Facebook organically, doesn't even get shown to all of your friends. Matter of fact, a very small segment will see any post that you put up on Facebook. That's because in order to get wider distribution of your post on Facebook, guess what? You got to pay to play. That's right. That is our eyeballs, our attention, we are the product, okay? They sell that product to advertisers. Doesn't sound much like a share economy kind of company to me, okay? The same is also true with Instagram. And I know some of you are saying, well, what about Twitter? Twitter, you could have the retweet or otherwise known as the RT, but big problems with Twitter, of course, are number one, the tweet or the half-life of a tweet is only 24 minutes. So said another way, whatever you put up on Twitter, half the people that will ever see it will see it in the first 24 minutes, and then it very quickly falls off thereafter. And once again, it only goes out to people that are following you. And once again, if you want greater distribution for your tweets, you've got to pony up cash. You got to pay to play. Again, doesn't sound much like a share economy type of company. Let's look at the fourth big one, the fourth big social platform, LinkedIn. Once again, you could share content on LinkedIn, but it's only shared usually within professional groups and only your connections. In other words, not everyone on LinkedIn gets to see your stuff. So once again, the same thing holds. If you want greater distribution for stuff on LinkedIn, you've got to pay, right? You got to be an advertiser. Now, let's compare and contrast that with Pinterest, because as we have found out, Pinterest is the only share economy platform that does in fact participate in the share economy. And let me give you a little thumbnail here of what I mean, because get this is a really important point. Any post you make on Pinterest can be seen by all Pinterest users, okay? All Pinterest users. In other words, not just people that follow you. That's number one. The second thing is that anything you put up on Pinterest can be found even years later. That's because Pinterest is archival in nature. And what do I mean when I say archival in nature? I mean that it's a lot like YouTube, okay, in that they are both archival in nature. Let me explain what I mean. If let's say that you started on YouTube back in 2010, right? You put up your first video on YouTube back in 2010. If you made that video public on YouTube, that video is still searchable and findable today by anyone, okay? They don't have to subscribe to your channel. They don't even have to be logged into their YouTube account, but it can be found by anyone. Such is also the case on Pinterest, okay? And that's a really, really crucial point that you understand, because in many ways, when you market through Pinterest, it's like the gift that keeps on giving, potentially. So when you add these two characteristics with the fact that the whole backbone and culture is in repinning or sharing, you start to get an idea and a little inkling on just how powerful Pinterest can be for a marketer, for folks like you and I, okay? Now, I've given you sort of a thumbnail introduction here to Pinterest. Let me just ask you, do you currently have a Pinterest profile? Just let me know in the chat, yes or no. I'm not asking you whether you're active there, just whether you have a Pinterest profile. So let me just see what we got here. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Wow, lots of no's. I'm so glad for those folks that are answering no. There's a lot of folks saying yes, but I don't use it. Okay. Great. Well, that's going to change. If you don't actively use Pinterest, my guarantee by the end of today's training, you will. Okay. You'll be like so gung-ho to do this. You're just like, you can't wait. You'll be chomping at the bit to do it. Okay. So that's my promise to you. Now, here's the thing I love about Pinterest. You know, Pinterest is essentially like an online bulletin board. I'm sure you've had a cork board, an analog, bulletin board, a cork board with thumbtacks. You put up pictures and notes and things like that. Well, that's essentially what Pinterest is, but it's all online. Okay, so it's about collecting pieces of visual media. So it could be multimedia. So you can, for example, put up videos on Pinterest. You can put up animated GIFs. You could put up cinemagraphs, okay? But it's mostly about static images, okay? It's mostly about having static images. And the one thing that I want you to understand here, and this is a really crucial point, is that people who are actively using Pinterest use it to discover and save ideas, Now, this is a writer downer, okay? This is an asterisk and highlight this, what I'm about to say. Super important. That's because Pinterest is first and foremost a search engine, okay? Yes, it has social media, attributes to it, but it is first and foremost a search engine. And not only that, it's a human curated search engine in many respects. So people go to Pinterest to look at and discover stuff that they're interested in, stuff that they're passionate about. And these ideas, by the way, can take any form. Okay, they can take, in other words, any topic under the sun, including yours. Okay, even if you're an affiliate marketer, especially if you're an affiliate marketer, actually. And the really cool thing about this is that it could go from DIY projects to winter gardening to B2B stuff, anything in between, any topic under the sun. There are groups of users on Pinterest that are into it, that are following that topic, okay? Now, every single one of these ideas on Pinterest is represented by a pin, okay? Now, a pin is an image, and an image is a pin. So you don't have a pin without some kind of image. As a matter of fact, for the remainder of today's training, when I say image, I want you to think pin, and when I say pin, I want you to think image. But while every pin must have an image, it also must have a description, okay? A description and a link back to that image's source online. Now, it doesn't have to have a description or a link, but it can. And I've actually highlighted this here in red for you because it's so doggone important, because you can embed, get this, you can embed a link behind any post that you make on Pinterest so that when people click on that link, they can go off to anywhere that they want and to potentially find out more about the idea and potentially act on that idea, okay? Now, what I want to do right now is I'm going to show you how most people pin and repin on Pinterest. So I'm going to go here to Pinterest right now, and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to bring this onto my my screen here. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, so do you see my Pinterest feed here? You see it right here? It should say real fast results. Just let me hear from you in the chat if you see this. Hopefully you do. Say yes. Okay. Let me make sure you all are seeing this. Great. Okay, awesome. First thing I want to tell you about. So this is my personal Pinterest profile page. A couple things you need to see. First, you note it says here, real fast results. It's not my name. It's not my proper name, Daniel Hall, right? That's because with Pinterest, you can name your profile anything you want, including the name of your product. You could say, you could say something like Jason Fladlin, Millionaire Maker, which he's, I know, made probably thousands of them by now. But that's the one cool thing about Pinterest. If you want to promote something, like I want to promote my realfastresults.com podcast. So I name my profile Real Fast Results. So that's lesson one here. Lesson number two, I just want you to note that, and this goes out to all the males of the species, okay? Not the females, the males of the species, because here's the deal. Most of the active users on Pinterest are female, okay? Which is great news, by the way, if you're a marketer, because in our society and in our culture, females make most of the buying decision, and if they're not making those buying decisions, they are heavily influencing those buying decisions. But what has been reported is that some active users will hit a page like this, a profile page like you're looking at right here, and if they see this creepy looking guy looking back at them, that they bolt. They will not engage with your content. And by the way, creepy is completely subjective. So if you are a male, here's the lesson, okay? Have a picture of you and a female, okay? So here's a picture of me and my lovely wife, Lynette, okay? And I don't care if the picture is with your lover, your spouse, your next door neighbor, your aunt, your mother, your daughter, a stranger. I don't care, okay? It's really important that you understand male and female if you're a male. If you're a female, you're good to go with just a regular picture of you, okay? Now, the next thing I wanted to show you here is repinning. So let's talk about repinning here for just a second. And let me just say that most of the activity on Pinterest is in the repin. So in other words, most of all the activity going on here in Pinterest is not somebody creating a pin and then uploading it to Pinterest. Most of it is people finding pins that are already existing here and then repinning it to a relative board, one of their relative boards. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So I am into fast, fancy cars. And so I've got I definitely want to buy this as my next car. It's a Porsche Macan in white. So I've got a board called My Dream Cars, because you can make boards. It's another really writer downer, real important point. People can make boards about any topic under the sun, okay, that they're interested in, right? And I have this one called My Dream Cars that these are cars that I either own or I intend to buy. This is the next car I intend to buy. So I like to come over here to Pinterest, like, probably thousands of other people, and look for a Porsche Macan in white. And look what happens, by the way. Watch what happens when I mouse over each one of these images. You see what's happening here? It is actually prompting me to save, to share my the link or this picture to my board called My Dream Cars. Okay, so let's actually do that right now. Let me actually find one. I don't think I have this one up there, so I'm going to save this one to my Dream Cars board. So there it got saved. Let's go look at it right now, and here it is. Okay, now here's the really cool thing about Pinterest. You see what happens when I mouse over this? I could click on this, and what happens? Magic happens. That's what happens. Because where did this take me? This took me over to a blog. This could have just as easily taken me to a sales page, an opt-in page, an Amazon listing, okay? Anywhere like that, all right? So that's the beautiful thing that I want you to understand. Empires like Google and Facebook have been built on that click, on the back of that click. I am showing you a way to actually do this for free, to get that free targeted click back to wherever you want to send people. How do I know it's targeted? Because people wouldn't click on the image if they weren't interested in it in the first instance. You get it? Okay. So that's repinning on Pinterest. The next thing I want to show you here is how to pin from the beginning. So I'm going to go to my my blog, my realfastresults.com blog and podcast. And a couple things I want to just show you here is this. I am primarily an email marketer. Okay. So I want to send people back to my realfastresults.com podcast because there's a lot of ways to get onto my email list here so that I can continue my relationship with people. And so I like to drive people back here. And one of the things that, one of the ways I do that is I will put up a pin like this. So you see this pin right here. This is to promote a book that I wrote called Real Fast Writing. I work a lot with, both John and I actually work a lot with authors and content creators and course creators. But so I wrote this book. And then I did what's called a quote graphic. That's what this is. This is a quote graphic by William Faulkner that, again, promotes my book, or at least the ideas promote what I'm saying within my book. So if I wanted to pin this to Pinterest, all I would do is click Save here. It will open in another dialog box for us. And then it gives me a list of places where I could actually pin this. Now, I said a little earlier that any niche under the sun, okay, is active on Pinterest, including, by the way, there's tons of author boards and writer boards. So I belong to a lot of those types of boards, and so. Let's actually pick one of them here and put it up there on, let's put it on Pages and Ink. It is a group board that I belong to. John's going to be telling you a little while, he's going to be teaching in a little while about group boards, but let's save that to that board and let's go over to Pages and Ink. Here it is. Okay, so guess what happens? So this just got saved to Pinterest on that particular board. And what happens once again, bow, magic, because I just got a free click back to my site, okay, that I didn't have to pay for. That's the beautiful thing about Pinterest. Okay, so let's go back here to our presentation. And just kind of walk you through the fact that Pinterest is the only platform that actively encourages its users to organize boards dedicated to niches that people are actually interested in. Because computers don't make boards, people make boards about what they're crazy about, the things that they're passionate about. And as you could probably already tell, Pinterest is visually stimulating and fun to browse. Okay, it's just a lot of fun to browse. And the other thing that I love about Pinterest is it makes it easy to add a clickable link just about anywhere you want to send people. Now I'm going to show you in a little while where to put that link, how to actually to build that in just a moment. But it's just great when you understand that you can do these sorts of things on Pinterest. By the way, that you can never get away with on Instagram. Okay, because I know some of you are saying, well, this looks a lot like Instagram. What's the difference? The big difference is you can't embed a link behind an image on Instagram, for example. And here's the other cool thing about Pinterest, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to point it out here to you, that Pinterest actively encourages its users to share pins and repins. Okay, it's share pins and repins. So that's really, really a cool thing, because when you know and understand that you could link to that image, when that image gets shared and reshared and reshared, you can literally generate clicks for years to come. Okay, for years to come. As a matter of fact, if you're not looking at your computer screen now, check this image out, this graphic that I have for you, because I think this does a really good job of explaining how exponential sharing on Pinterest can happen. So let's just say that you're one of our students and you know how to put together a pin that gets reshared. People like that pin. And it's a pin in your topic, okay? And by the way, again, tons of other people on Pinterest are into your topic, whatever that happens to be. So you put together a good quality pin with good quality content, you pin it, these people find it, and they repin it, and on it goes, okay? Such that you get all of the clicks and eyeballs back to your offers. And of course, you can make a whole lot more money that way, all on autopilot. So I hope you're starting to get an inkling of just how powerful this can be when you know how to do it correctly, all right? So this whole thing makes sense when you understand that the average pin on Pinterest is repinned 11 times. Now, we're going to show you in this very training how to be way above average. But when you understand that the average pins gets repinned 11 times, you start to understand how, when you know what you're doing with it, that you could have lots of outliers. And in fact, John and I have had a lot of outliers. In other words, pins that have done very, 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 very well and continue to do very, very well to this day. As a matter of fact, the way we stumbled on this, and I have to give John 100% credit, because he's the one that figured all of this out and then came back to me and says, hey, look at this, look at this. It actually took about a year for me to actually pay attention. So I don't want that to happen to you. And he showed me this graphic, the Bob Harper Skinny Rules graphic. So what I want to do now is I want to turn the microphone over to John. John, can you walk people through here and show them how this case study actually developed and why it opened my eyes?
Yes, Daniel, it did finally open your eyes, which was a lot of work. But when I started getting more and more traffic, you said, wow, this is magic, and it is. And some other people in the discussion said, yes, it's magic. When I first started off with Pinterest many years ago, about 7 years ago now, there was this thing called the Skinny Rules graphic that I saw. It featured a book by Bob Harper, who at the time was on NBC's The Biggest Loser. And the neat thing is, I liked the points. It seemed reasonable. And I thought, oh, well, I'm going to promote this guy's book. So what I did is I thought, let's make it a little bit prettier. So I put a pink border around it. I mean, that at my point right then, that was what I thought, okay, that's prettier. Now, the interesting thing is I took this image that I created based on the image I discovered on Pinterest. I blogged about it. Then I pinned it again to Pinterest, and in the next month, I got over 50,000 views and thousands of people coming to my website to read about Barb Harper's book and click through to Amazon to buy the book. Now, because I was getting that kind of traffic from a still pretty ugly graphic, I created a new graphic, tall and thin, with the colors of Bob Harper's book. And that graphic, as you see here on the right, is the one that got me 1.4 million total repins in the next 2 years, and sent 168,000 people to my website, many of whom went on to click on my Amazon affiliate link to buy the book. So both this graphic and even the pink border one are still sending traffic 7 years later to my websites, where people still buy the book from Amazon. And that's really the magic of Pinterest. It lasts forever. You know, as Daniel said, the half-life of a tweet is 24 minutes. That means half the people that will ever see that tweet will see it in the first 24 minutes, or they will never see it. The neat thing is, you know, Facebook, 90 minutes, and then it's gone for most people. At least half the people will never see your pin. Pinterest, in this particular study, the half-life of a Pinterest pin was 3.5 months. That's 2,000 times more opportunity for people to discover your pin than a Facebook post. 6,000 times more opportunity to actually discover your tweet. Now, Pinterest has since done its own study, and they found out that the half-life of a Pinterest pin today is 6 months. So it's even more opportunity. A pin lasts forever. I mean, I do have pins that I pinned originally 5, 6, 7 years ago that's still sending traffic to my website every day. And that's really the lasting power of Pinterest. Pinterest also converts to eyeballs. People come to your website to find out more about the whatever it is that you're promoting. It could be an idea, it could be a book, it could be a product, it could be a service, it can be anything like that. In my experience, 2% to 25% of the people that see your pin will click through to actually go to your website to find out more information. Now, this works because of the way that I create pins. And that's really important. And we're going to be teaching you about this. Can you create a pin like this? These are what I call typographics. They're basic information, very simply presented, no complicated infographics, just content that gets people to go, wow, I want to find out what I have to give up to be happy. Or I want to know about cucumbers. You know, the neat thing is these have generated 6,000, 32,000, 38,000, 7,800 visits just from these graphics in the first 2 years. But now, where the magic really happens is in the next 3 years on autopilot, without me doing anything more, I got 13,000 more visits, almost 25,000 more visits, almost 22,000 more visits, almost 7,000 more visits on autopilot, not doing anything. These 4 graphics sent me 66,700 visits. People, live, real people coming to my website in the next 3 years without me doing anything. That is really the magic of Pinterest, and it happens quickly. This is a graphic I created. I call this a quote graphic. It's a graphic that I created about prayer and forgiveness. And then when I created the graphic and then I posted it to Blogger, to my blog, in the next 10 hours, 15 people who follow me repinned it. But the real magic happened when 266 other people who do not follow me, but follow other people who follow me, discovered the same pin and repinned it. In 10 hours, 266 people got involved, interacted, clicked through to my website, all because of the magic of Pinterest and the way that people discover what you're doing. Sarah Hathaway, one of our students, she said, my Pinterest and Twitter followers have exploded since I started this program. and I got tons of blog hits and website hits. That's what happens. This is the power of the Pinterest social sharing economy. It's a peer-to-peer social media platform. It's one of the reasons that people value Pinterest and pins because it's user-generated content, not some sort of mysterious algorithm that you have to keep twisting yourself and reinventing yourself to try to guess what Google is doing with its algorithm. Real people are pinning on Pinterest. They're creating boards that tell you exactly what they're interested in. So they like what I call the 6 F's of Pinterest. They like fitness and health. They like food and recipes and nutrition. They like fashion and beauty. They like anything to do with family and kids and parenting. Anything funny, just like other social networks, and anything with cute, especially cute animals. They love cute animals. You want to find the keys to a woman's soul, follow her on Pinterest. But the neat thing is that while 80% of the active users on Pinterest are women, the other 20% that are men are more than the combined subscribers or readers of Sports Illustrated and GQ combined. And they like things different than women do. Men like cars, they like hunting, they like fishing, they like technology, and so on and so forth. So no matter what you have to sell, there's a huge audience of people who have actually raised their hand and said, I love this topic, and they created a board about it, and they're going to pin your content to their board and share it with everybody that follows them. So how do you make money on Pinterest? People browse their interests on Pinterest. And whenever you go back to your Pinterest, your Pinterest will actually showcase you all kinds of pins they think you might be interested in based on what you've shared in the past. So you can discover all kinds of new things every time you go on Pinterest. You can browse your interests. You can search by a hashtag or by topic. Most people will then look and find something they like. They will repin it to one of their boards, share it with other people. They often click through to see more about that product or that service. And then they often will buy. And Daniel, I wanted to bring you back on if you could come live again. There you are. And tell us, because you had a great story about a woman.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually what was sort of the 2x4 to my head when this experience, this story that I'm about to tell you happened. I was actually having a lunch with a colleague of mine, and we were actually having pizza, and we had just finished up having this lunch, and I got up from the table to go wash my hands, and she got up from the table to go wait for me out in front of this place. So she was waiting for me. I came out. I sat down on a bench next to her. She was sitting on a bench, and you know what people do when they're waiting. She's tabbing with her thumb on her phone, and I sort of sit down next to her. And I say, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Oh." And then she gets all excited because she's on Pinterest and she finds a bracelet. And she does something with her thumb, and I'm like, oh, what did you just do? She says, I just love that. I've been looking for a bracelet like this forever. And when I get home, I'm going to go buy it. I don't feel, I'm out here in public. I don't feel good about whipping out my credit card to buy it now when I get home. And I'm like, holy cow. This is what people are using Pinterest to do. They're using it as a wish list. They're using it to go buy things. And I'm like, holy cow. So that's really what brought it home to me when that experience happened to me in real life. As a matter of fact, and this is the other cool thing that I want you to understand as well. The fact like that she would buy something directly off of Pinterest, that is not uncommon. As a matter of fact, the average order value of sales coming from Pinterest is $50, which, by the way, is higher than any other major social platform. Isn't that right, John?
Yes. In fact, Pinterest is also the #2 overall source of traffic, social media traffic,
there you go,
to Shopify e-commerce stores. And this is based on Shopify's own studies, internal studies. 2 million people pin product pins every day. 93% of Pinterest users have actually used the platform to plan what they're going to buy. They use it to create their shopping list. They use it to create their wish list, their bucket list, their travel, what they're going to, where they're going to go. 87% have actually bought something online after browsing pins. I mean, that's amazing. How many, that doesn't happen on Twitter. I don't even think it happens on Facebook on the main post.
Yeah, I'm curious to know from all of you. Have you ever gone to Pinterest and actually bought something from Pinterest, or at least shop there to save it and maybe later bought it later? My son Anthony's over here. He just raised his hand. Me too. I mean, I actually bought a vanity from Wayfair when we were redecorating our master bathroom, basically directly off of Pinterest. I'm just curious to know that if you have ever had that experience at all. So back over to you, John.
Yes, I was just looking at somebody's user thing, and he asked me to get some feedback on what he was doing, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, he needs more boards, very specific boards. Anyway, boards are what people follow nowadays on Pinterest. They don't necessarily follow people, but they follow boards and they follow pins that they like. Now, the two most effective pins that I have found that work well for me and are quote graphics. That's anything that's inspirational, funny, motivational quotes that are related to your product or service. Also, typographics, 5 to 10, 20 tips in a tall, thin graphic that also features a product shot, people using your product, book cover. I like using people because that's often very, again, attractive. People like to follow people on Pinterest. So typographics work incredibly well. And the neat thing is that, I'm going to give you a little insider secret right now that I normally don't give at this point, but I'm going to share it now. Twitter actually sends out emails to people recommending pins that they think they'd be interested in. And amazingly, what Pinterest likes most about the pins I do are the typographics I share. Again, the tall, thin graphics. Think of a viral, graphic anywhere from 300 by 800 pixels up to 720 by 1776 pixels. Anywhere in that area, tall and thin. Pinterest actually says, right now that the best size is something that's 2 units wide and 3 units tall. So 1 by 1.5. But I found that even taller graphics work very, very effectively on Pinterest and drive traffic. So think of tall and thin, condensed content from your product, from your book, or how to use your product, or basic sales images, sales ideas about your product or service. If you're writing a blog post or an article on your website, you could actually share some of the content from that blog post or sales page in a graphic and then pin it to Pinterest, driving traffic to that specific page. People expect that when they click on a pin, they're going to be sent to a page that tells them more, gives them more of a sales pitch to what you're offering, and then sends them on to an affiliate link or to your buy page or so on. So you could link directly to Amazon, but I recommend doing the two-step. Send them to your website, and from there, send them to your affiliate page or whatever it is you're selling. Now, I just wanted to show you that it's still happening very, very quickly on Pinterest. I posted this 22 rules of storytelling one night, and within 2 days, I got over 1,100 repins. And by the end of the week, I got 5,000 repins. And it's just gone from there. I still get traffic every day from that graphic sent to my money site at Book Marketing Bestsellers. So it's magical. Now, when I talk about typographics, I told you earlier that you don't want to create these complicated infographics like on the left. They're pretty, but they don't work on Pinterest for 2 reasons. One, they take way too long to create. And the thing is, the 18 things high achievers do, I created that in 20 minutes. I blogged about it and boom, it was up sending traffic within minutes. These complicated infographics took anywhere from 2 hours to 2 days to create, and you had to wait for traffic. Why wait? But the other real reason, even more important, is that 80% of users on Pinterest, like all other social media, access their social media using smartphones. And try consuming the content on these complicated infographics on a smartphone. You can't read them on a smartphone, so you have to magnify them, then you have to scroll back and forth, and it just gets really complicated. I guarantee you most people won't do it on a smartphone because they're browsing. 18 things high achievers do, they're going to see the first 6 to 7 points on their smartphone screen. They'll be able to read them, and then if they want to, they can scroll, or more likely what they're going to do is they're going to click through to my website to find out more, my mobile friendly website, where they can consume the content and go on to buy what there is. The other kind of graphic that I recommend is a quote graphic. A nice quote with a nice image, Albert Einstein, or take time to do what makes you so happy. 212,000 repins. Nobody cares about your excuses. This is an all-word graphic, and it doesn't work as well as a quote graphic with a nice image in the background. 2,500 reprints versus 212,000 reprints. Magic when you create beautiful graphics. And it's not complicated. We make it real easy for you. Now, here's the secret I was showing you, or talking about earlier. Pinterest actually sends out emails showcasing pins they think you might be interested in based on what you've pinned in the past. They also send you board ideas, people to follow, ideas to follow. So it's really magical what they're doing for you. And they do it automatically. Every day they're sending me emails. In this case, they sent an email to my wife that featured one of my pins. Nothing makes me happier than to see other people in their purest moments of joy. An Oprah Winfrey quote that links to my money site, because I write about writing and about creating. Now, there's one other kind of graphic that you can create that works really well. It's what I call a pictographic. These short, squatty images like the car on the left, they don't work that well on Pinterest because they don't get much real estate. So they sort of get lost in all the other pins that are there. But if you create a taller, thinner graphic with multiple shots of the car or other product, or you put the car in action, these pictographics, multiple product shots work really well for high-end products like cars. Also things like solar chargers, smartwatches, or high-end smartphones. They are very effective at helping you to sell and promote high-end products. Very key tip. Now, you want to create a graphic. This is a graphic that I saw on Pinterest, black and white. It featured the product name, not how to use the product, but the product name. How stupid. So if you did that, you can do better now. Create a product shot. You can still feature the product, but feature what you can do with the product, and do it in color, because Pinterest is all about color. And it's all about making things that are wonderful, delicious. And, how will you use your new Weber Smoky Joe grill? And you show that food shots, and people are going to click through, and they're going to share it with other people because you're not sharing a product, you're sharing what you can do with it. So Daniel, I wanted to bring you back on because you have this great question you like to ask.
Yeah. So up to what you've heard thus far, in other words, so far in what you've learned in today's training, I want you to answer this question. When do you think you should start using Pinterest? And once again, it's either a 1 or a 2 in the questions box. Put a 1 in the box if you think it's better to sell when you have an existing group to sell to. In other words, you already have an audience and you already have an offer. Or do you think it's better to create your offer and then look for your audience? By the way, no wrong answers. That's not a trick question. I just want to know what you think so far, based on what you have learned. Let me see what the responses are that have come through here. Let's see. Well, I think maybe there is a maybe there is a more correct choice, and Anna, you got it. Okay. And the Anna answered, by the way, immediately. And here I agree with that. And here's the deal. So let's say that you have an offer out there, right? Then you can go to Pinterest. You basically should have started yesterday on Pinterest to promote your offer, because the fact of the matter is that you can get in front of people that are interested in your subject matter, that are passionate about your topic, whatever it happens to be, or whatever your product does. And you could definitely get in front of them with your link, right, that I've showed you here, basically how to do right now, today. I mean, literally 20 minutes from right now, you could be getting free clicks to your offers. So you definitely should be doing this. Now, if you don't yet have an offer, then you too should have started yesterday, because for two reasons. Number one, it helps to build an audience. Okay. And I have it written here on my desk that you can do anything in life with an audience. Okay. And the really cool thing is with that kind of audience, you can see what resonates, okay, what people are into, what they share, what they click on, which is great, by the way, from the standpoint of market research. And number two, when you do have a offer that comes out, now you've got a group of people that you could take it to. So either way, you should definitely be using Pinterest today. Now, we teach many ways to make money with Pinterest. I'm going to show you one way right now, and I'm going to do that with this. If this person is here, let's see. I'm not sure who put this in, but it's this one right here. Sweet Dragon Mama. My pets make me breakfast. I just think this is so adorable and cute. Whose is this? And can I use your thing here as an example? Your product here as an example. Is that cool with you?
That's Anita's, and she said, yeah, it's fine.
Awesome. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to introduce you to this awesome site called Canva. And Canva, you can get a free account. And with Canva, essentially, you can create graphics here. And again, it's completely free. I have a paid account because I use it so much for a bunch of different other things. But the free account is good. And what you're going to do is once you get a free account on Canva, you're going to come over here, and then you're going to click Create Design, and then Custom Dimensions. And then you're going to type in 300 by 800 pixels like this, and then click the little Create New Design. It's going to open another tab, and it's going to give you this nice bookmark shape that you see here. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is we're going to create a quote graphic here for Anita. And for that, I'm going to go over here to Googly and type in here. Let's see if we could find anything along the lines of urban farming quotes. And see if we can find anything along these lines. So I love this site here. It's called Brainy Quote. I don't know if you could see it. Hopefully you could see this screen. Let me make it bigger for you. So let's go over here to Brainy Quote, and let me see if I could find a quote here that basically marches in lockstep with what we really want to say here. For our particular product. So let's see. Let's see. I think this is a great one here from Dwight D. Eisenhower, actually. I think it basically kind of conveys the thought and feeling that might resonate with people that might end up liking this. And correct me if I'm wrong on that, Anita, but that's the one thing that I really like. If you're cool with that, I'm going to use Dwight D. Eisenhower's here. She says, I like it. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click. Now I'm on my Canva tab. I'm going to click here on the left-hand side. You'll see it says text. Click text, and then I'm going to click add heading. Now I'm going to paste that quote in here like that. And there's our quote that we're going to be using here today. Let's get rid of all this extraneous stuff out of here. Awesome. By the way, are you all digging this? Are you learning a lot here today? Would love to hear from you on that. And let's see here. We're going to put that in here. And all right. All right. So there's our quote. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to grab a great photo. And for this, I like to use a site called Pixabay because Pixabay has these great, beautiful images that are completely free to use, even commercially, because the photographers have put these images into the public domain. So let's just look at, let's see if we can, I don't know whether this will return anything, but let's look at urban farming and see if we can get an image this way. And sure enough, we do. Let's see if there's anything. Now, when I go to find an image, what I am doing is I'm scanning here, scanning these images, and I'm looking for kind of a pattern interrupt that it stops me. It gets my it attracts my attention, and that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And let's go on to the next page here. I don't like any of those really. And I think I'm going to change my chicken coop. This is better, I think. Let's see what we can find here. This is kind of cool. I kind of like that. That got me. Let's see if there's anything better. I think I'm going to go with that one. Let's go ahead and grab this guy, and we're going to click here, free download. Let's download this to our desktop, and cool. So there it is, coming down. Now, the cool thing is that once I've got this, now I can come over here to photos, or actually uploads right here, and I can go and upload this if I wished. Or I could just drag this. You see it's in my taskbar down here. I can just drag this up into our Canva account. And you see it's uploading. Now I can just click there and actually get that onto our image. So just like that, we've got this really cool image working for us, okay? So we're gonna do that. All right, now, the next thing I wanna do is I'm going to actually change this to a little bit different font. Let's go with, let's try Nor'Wester here. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, I like that, cool. All right. And the other thing I want to do is let's scooch this in a little bit more like this. It's not quite up on the sides like that. And the other thing I want to do is I'm going to come up here to where it says spacing. You see up here? And then I'm going to adjust this line height. I usually like to adjust this to 1.15 or so, or along in there. That's good enough, I think. And cool. Now we're cooking with gas here. This is a 300 by 800 pixels. Okay, yeah, 300 by 800 pixels is what we got here. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come over to Anita's really great product here. I like this a lot. And let's see if I can actually, no, it's not going to allow me, I don't think, to save it. No, let me just go ahead and I'm on a I'm on a PC, so I have a tool on my my machine called a snipping tool. So I'm just going to take an image of this. By the way, I keep forgetting what it is on a Mac. Can somebody tell me in the chat what this is on a Mac? The sort of the screen grab thing. Just let me know.
There are a lot, Daniel. You can use the Mac has built-in screenshot tool. I use Sketch, which is free from the company that makes Evernote.
Nice.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay. So we're gonna do. Thank you for that. Cutting board, and we're gonna save that down here. All right, great. Okay, so the next step here is we're going to now upload this. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to upload this bad boy over to our Canva account. So grab this and let's look for a cutting board. Where did you go? There you go. Upload. There we go. So it's uploading right now. And as soon as that goes all the way across the blue there, it'll be ready to drop into our canvas area. So there we go. And there's our product there. And let's make that a skosh larger, something more like this maybe. Okay. Move that up a little, move this up a little. Great. Now, you might notice that I've kept this area at the very bottom free. And the reason I've done that is because what I want to do here is I want to either put a call to action or the website where I can go get this product. So I'm going to say, we're going to put in a product name. So what I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to take this and we're going to duplicate it. And I'm going to move this down. And then I'm just going to put here. And put a simple call to action like this. Okay. Now, a couple things. I want to now. You could actually call this done, but I want to play with it just a little bit more, and make it just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually trim it out a little bit by coming over here, and I want to I'll go to elements as you see over here, and then I'm going to look for this square guy, and we're going to make that really tiny like that. Actually, not quite so tiny, I can't move it. There we go. Something like this. And I'm going to pull that across here for us. Something like this. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't really like that color, so I'm going to come over here. And I'm looking for, and this is the other thing I really like about Canva. You see, it will look at the color scheme in anything that you're uploading. You see how it's done that with our chicken coop photo and our product shot here. But I really want the red in this chicken's whatever the thing is called. I don't even know. But in this case where Canva is not telling me, I want to introduce you to another little cool piece of software, and it's right up here. It's called the Eyedropper, and it's a free Chrome extension that allows you to pick any color on the website. So if I click here and then sort of mouse over and put my cursor on the color, it will then give me that color. So let's there we go. So it just gave me this color. It's called Indian Red. Cool. So let me grab that, copy it, and then come back up here where I could change the color of this bar. We're gonna do new color, and then we're gonna put that in there, and voila. So I'm gonna actually now take that, and we're gonna duplicate it and bring it down here. Just like this. And you're saying, well, Daniel, you just covered up your call to action. And you're right, I did. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come over here to where it says position and send that bad boy to the back. And let me just try one other thing here. I may want to make this white to really make it stand out. Let's see how that looks. Yes. Bingo. Nailed it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, so here is the pin that what took me 7-8 minutes, and I'm teaching you how to do it to make. But the next thing I want to do is save this, right? And come over here to where it says download. And I'm going to download this as a JPEG. And it's going to put all that together for us. And the next thing it's going to do is it's going to give us this JPEG. Now, let me ask you this. There's another question for you. You want to name your files a buyer keyword. Can anyone tell me in the chat why you name this a buyer keyword? Let me hear from you in the chat why you would name this a buyer keyword. So here we're gonna call this urban farming farm chicken coop, whatever. Okay, you get the idea. And let's see. The question is why we would name our graphic here. Why would we name this a buyer keyword? That's the pending question. All right, so we're going to save that. Now we're going to come back over here to Pinterest, and let's see. Yes, it is the search engines. And let's see here. And remember, it goes back to what I said a little while ago. Search engines are that Pinterest is in fact a search engine. It is in fact a search engine. So you want to make that search engine easier to use, right? It's easier to find your stuff. So that's the reason why you do that. So whoever, let's see, all the folks that got search, SEO, yes, you are correct. You are correct on that. So, all right. So here we are back over on Pinterest. Let's go over here to create our pin. And now I could just drag our pin right from here over into our board. And let's go look for some keywords and a title for this. My pets make me breakfast. I love this, by the way. And then I'm going to actually grab some more copy off of here. So that's our title, as you see. And now right down here is where we're going to put some description. So I'm going to go back to Anita's site here and grab some of this copy here as from our description. And We're gonna put that behind there, and that's cool. Okay, now the other thing that I want to do is I want to just show you that you can in fact do hashtags in here as well. So we could do urban farming. Okay, we could do farming. And we could do chicken coop, etc. Okay, so earlier I promised you that we would show you where to put the link. Well, this is where you would put the link. So let's go ahead and grab this link that Anita has for us. So copy that. And I'm going to put that link right here. And now we're going to save this. And I have a board here called Articles and Resources. Let's put it on that one. And we're going to publish it there. Great. Let's see our pin. Okay, you ready for the magic, Anita? And there it is. There it is sitting on my board right now. Boom. It takes us back over to where we could go buy your product. Yeah. Okay. That's what it's about. That's really what I wanted to get across to you here as well. Okay. So I wanted to show you here that you can make money directly from Pinterest. John and I are not doing this too much because, again, we are email marketers. We believe in a long-term relationship with our customers. So we believe in trying to put people on an email list and then forming a relationship with them, building a bond with them. But I said, John, we need to prove to people that you can just send people directly to Pinterest and have sales directly without that. And he says, no problem. I have, a couple things that I've got rolling, but basically John's brings in between $700 and $800 a month from his direct Pinterest sales. And by the way, it's not just John. We've had literally thousands of students come through this program. Felicitas happens to be another one. She says, I'm happy to report that I've recovered more than I paid for the Real Fast Pinterest course by being an affiliate. Okay, an affiliate. Okay, it's a set it and forget it kind of thing, really. Okay. And then our friend Dennis Kashkin, who founded Board Booster, said some people earn up to $50,000 per month just from blogging and pinning. And to prove that you can sell anything from Pinterest, another one of our students, Tom Antion, he's got a business called Protection Dogs Elite, where he sells these $20,000 protection dogs. And he put together this kind of humorous typographic called 21 Reasons a Protection Dog is Better Than a Man, and has reported that he's had two $20,000 sales from this graphic. So my question for you is, are you excited that you have finally found a way to build your business on autopilot? Okay, let me hear from you in the chat. I've been talking a blue streak here for the last hour. Would love to hear from you on that. Thank you so much. Woo. Awesome. Thank you for that. Absolutely awesome, says Rudolph and Stephanie and Anna and Tina and Charles and Wilson and Lorena and Pete and Ronald and Dave. Excellent. And Anish, Kathy. You're right, Kathy. It is a complete no-brainer. Thank you, Jody. Says, love it so much, Daniel. Great. It's like a tall drink of water. I dig it, Lorena. Thanks. All right. So what I want to do is I want to introduce you to Real Fast Social Graphics. And this is a program that allows you to continue your training and coaching with John and I. What this is, it's a total system for Pinterest success. And the best part about it is that this system is specifically for people like you and me, people that are not particularly good graphic designers. I think you will agree I'm not a particularly good graphic designer, but it doesn't matter. And by the way, you don't need to be a particularly good marketer. I mean, if you are a good graphic designer or a good marketer, so much the better, but it is not required. That's because what you're getting with this program is a master's degree in money making on Pinterest. That's what this is all about. And we do that through a variety of different ways. We show you, number one, how to build images that practically beg to be shared over and over and over again. And I want to remind you, your link goes with it, okay? Your link goes with it. And we're also going to show you how to, what I call repin for the win. So what's all this about? Well, this is about strategies for repinning using images that are already there on Pinterest. And this is a huge time saver and a money maker because you're using what's already been created. You don't have to take the time like I just did to create an image to get a benefit from this. And by the way, this is completely above board, completely ethical, and completely within Pinterest terms of service. But only about 1/10 of 1% of people on Pinterest know how to do this. Okay, how to repin for the win. That is. The other thing we're going to show you how to do is cash in on trends. Because if you know where and when to look on Pinterest, it's possible to discern what's trending in your niche, even before it's trending in the wider world. And so we show you how to identify that and then how to take advantage of that before, again, a lot of other people do, so that you get most of the traffic or a lot of traffic to your offers and to your buy buttons. That's what it's all about. The other thing is, and I'm sure you've already figured this out, is that Pinterest and e-commerce, they are a marriage made in heaven, okay? So if you have an Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, or affiliate program, we show you how to take those offers that you have, those things for sale that you have, and use Pinterest to its greatest effect to sell more of it, okay? And on autopilot, I may add, and free, I may add, okay? The other thing that that we show you how to do is create effective pins for even the tragically unartistic, like John or I. As a matter of fact, you probably already have the stuff on your machines, okay? The tools on your machines. So it does not going to require any other software to do this. So you probably already have PowerPoint or MS Word. And let's say you hate Microsoft or you don't want to use any of those, Microsoft products, whatever. That's fine. We have a lot of free resources like Pablo, TypeSlab, and I've shown you Canva, and we just scratched the surface a little bit on Canva. So much more there that you could do. The other thing that we show you how to do, and this is a very important point, especially in this day and age, is we show you how to profit on just 5 minutes a day. Okay. So this is perfect for the busy person who has to, get the maximum amount of benefit out of a minimum amount of effort. So I don't know if you're anything like me, I would go to, someplace like Facebook to quote unquote, build my business by, like interacting with influencers and all that. And the only thing I've ever really done on Facebook is waste a heck of a lot of time, liked a lot of people's posts and watch video. That's what I've done. That's not what we teach you how to do on Pinterest. We show you how to get onto Pinterest, do what you need to do to get the results that you want, and get the heck off, okay? So you're going to get that as well. And here's the other really, really nifty thing. If you are an expert of any kind, or an author of any kind, we show you how to, or a blogger, by the way, we show you how to drive traffic like the icons in this industry. People like Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins and John Lee Dumas and others, okay? They are using Pinterest to drive traffic in a very specific way, even though they already have massive platforms. By the way, I wanted to just draw your attention here to the top right-hand corner. You see where it says Joanna Basford up here? You know what her claim to fame is? She sells adult coloring books from Pinterest, okay? Now, I'm not talking about erotica. I'm talking about the mandalas and the pretty pictures and images and things that people would color, right? So that's a really, really important point as well. And if you have a blog and you want more readers, more subscribers to your blog, look at the bottom left-hand corner. You see where it says Brown Sugar Food Blog? Again, driving massive traffic via Pinterest by using best practices, which is, again, what we teach you how to do and what they're doing within Real Fast Social Graphics. Now, the other thing I wanted to just note, even though Jason is no longer doing a whole lot of social media stuff. I just want to point out that Jason and I and John are on a group board. So John, can you come and teach about group boards here for just a second, and tell people why they're so important and why they're such an important part of Real Fast Social Graphics?
Yes, Daniel. Basically, a group board is any board that you have where you start to invite other people to collaborate with you on that board. So it's very simple. There's just a little button you click that says, invite other people, and you start inviting people. So I had a board on blogging and internet marketing. So I started to invite people that I knew, like Joe Comm, Mike Koenigs, Jason Flatian, Daniel Hall. I now have about 90 contributors to that board on blogging and internet marketing. Now, the thing is, I control the look and feel of that board. So I have a graphic. Pinterest is where viral book marketing lives. The neat thing is that when somebody joins my board as a collaborator, my board shows up in their profile. So this blogging and internet marketing blog board is not just on my profile, but it's on 90 other profiles of people with high traffic. So I get a lot of exposure. Not only that, but I don't have to create all the content for the board, because all my collaborators are also creating content and sending traffic to that board. But because I create the board, I'm always active on it. I'm always adding my own pins to it. So I'm getting not just the people that follow me, but the people that follow the 90 other people who are collaborating with me. That's the magic of a group board. And it can be really powerful when you have the right collaborators with you. Now, the thing is, in the course, we not only teach you how to create your own group board or multiple group boards and invite people to them, but also how to get invitations to other people's boards. Some group boards have 100,000 followers, or I think there's a couple that have 1 million followers. Now you get onto one of those boards and you pin something, you're automatically getting an incredible amount of exposure that you wouldn't get right away. Now, some of you may only have, 10 people following you right now, or 50 people. But once you start being a member of a number of group boards and people like what you're pinning to that board, they're going to start following other boards of yours or following you. And that's where the magic becomes really powerful. And that's why group boards are so powerful. Now, the thing is, most group boards, they don't tell you really very clearly how to join. So we actually have in the lesson a lot of insider secrets, how to find the people behind the boards and how to connect with them and how to get invited to their boards.
Yeah, and that's a really, really crucial point that you understand, because like John says, it is not altogether easy to find out, number one, who even owns the board, much less get an invite to join a board. So this is a really crucial point that you understand, that that you should be a part of group boards, other people's group boards, because you basically plug into, like John says, an instant audience of people that are already loving that content. All right, whatever that board's about, they've already raised their hands and said, "Hey, I dig this." That's one of the reasons why you want to be a part of these group boards. So yes, like John says, so we give you all the insider secrets and tricks of the trade to get invited to these larger boards. The other thing is that we are in the process right now of creating a brand new module on video for Pinterest, because as you see here, John pinned this video up on Pinterest, and it has gotten over 1 million views on from his post on Pinterest. So you're going to get that. That's in the process. That is not ready right now, but we are in the process of making that. The other thing, and this is another very, very cool point, and I actually will say, I've got to say this, because this module could be the entire course, because we're going to show you, get this, how to piggyback traffic on daily television shows. I'll say that again, how you can get traffic to your sites, to your offers, when somebody else appears on a talk show, for example, like Dr. Oz or Ellen or any of these other shows. So let me tell you the story. We actually reverse engineer this. We work with a lot of authors, and we work with some very high-end authors, some New York Times bestselling name people. And we realized that, we would be working with them, and they would be on Dr. Oz, for example, and we would see a huge spike in their in what we were doing for them on Pinterest, right? And we like that, and that happened a couple times. Because again, we're in this game. We've been in this game for 7 years now, so we see a lot, and we know what's going on. And so we're like, wouldn't it be cool if we could reverse engineer that for somebody that wasn't appearing on this? And sure enough, we figured it out. We figured out that you could put up pins on Pinterest that relate to somebody that's about to appear on, say, Dr. Oz or one of the other shows. And piggyback off the buzz that's going on around that particular appearance. So we show you who's going to be on before the a episode airs, and who to choose so that you could segue from that guest to your offers. Okay, we show you how to do that as well. So I got to tell you, like I said, for the price of admission, this one thing alone is worth many, many multiples of what we ask in Real Fast Social Graphics. Not only that, but you get our personal help as well. We do this in a variety of ways, but the main way is through our private members only Facebook group. Okay. And John and I are in there all the time. John's in there pretty much daily. And as a matter of fact, this is the type of program. Think about this. John and I have been talking about adding a $97 a month fee, because we have over like 1,600 people in this Facebook group now. And we're like, hey, we need to kind of pump the brakes on this a little bit. But we've been talking about adding a $97 a month fee for this. If, as, and when we do, you will be grandfathered. Okay. So this is like getting $1,200 a month, or excuse me, a year in free coaching or free coaching access to John and I. So you're going to get that as well. Now, the other thing is I realize you want to hit the ground running. And the cool thing is that 20 minutes from right now, you could be having your pins generate traffic, because we have this additional bonus for you. It's a Canva plus 5 done for you Canva Pinterest templates all ready to go. So literally 20 minutes from right now, you could start generating free traffic to your offers. Now, the other thing is, and if you're not looking at your computer screen right now, and you don't know what a cinemagraph looks like, look at the monitor right now. This is a cinemagraph, and as you can see, they can attract a lot of attention, especially on Pinterest. And I was telling John, I said, John, wouldn't it be cool if we could show people how to create cinemagraphs as well? And sure enough, I was able to secure the rights to a whole other freestanding course on how you can create cinemagraphs for use on Pinterest using nothing but PowerPoint. Keynote will also work, as will Google Slides. Okay, so you're going to get that as well. Plus, we've had, as I said, literally thousands of students come through this program. Judith happens to be another one. Look what she says. She says, I've just discovered that traffic to my Proofread NZ website has, as of the 30th of November, tripled from a very consistent 8-year performance level. Okay, so let's kind of take that apart a little bit. She's been bebopping along for 8 years. She does what we tell her to do, and she triples her website traffic. Yes, it can happen just like that. And here's one of the reasons why. John told you about the fact that if you're putting out good quality content on Pinterest, that it is likely, there's no promises, but it is likely that Pinterest will pick up one of your boards or one of your pins and email market for you. Okay, that's what happened here. This is actually, if you direct your attention down where it says words and 26 pins there, it's highlighted in yellow. That is one of our students. We go, oh yeah, this is so cool. So yes, this is one of the reasons why you could have massive traffic come in from Pinterest, because they're out there email marketing for you, right? that's so powerful. The other cool thing that you're going to get is our Facebook marketing for authors and experts to get more fans, the Twitter Mania manual for the secret to building an incredibly fanatical following on Twitter, and how to use LinkedIn to promote yourself as an author, expert, find promotional partners, and build long-lasting and useful relationships. You see, taken together, this is a social marketing platform and suite for folks just like you and me, okay? For information product creators, internet marketers, authors, experts, and every type of entrepreneur, okay? And you might be asking yourself, dang, how much is this? Well, when we put this on sale, the price is $497, but that is definitely not your investment, especially because you're an affiliate triader. As a matter of fact, if you head over to this link, it's called https://affiliatetriad.com/Pinterest. That link is in your chat. Could somebody just click on that link in the chat, and you're going to see a whopping big discount when you click on that link. You definitely, if you could hear the sound of my voice, you definitely want to click on that link. If you are, if you're on right now, head on over there. You'll see a little surprise there for you. Okay, a little surprise.
So, how do you like to surprise affiliate triaders? No link, Dan. Come on, type the link, Dan. Okay, Anish, let's use clean language here. You know, I like clean language in affiliate triad, but I get you. All right. So, Daniel, why don't you go to that link and pull it up on the screen?
Okay, let's do that.
It's a very simple little page I put together.
Oh, sorry. Not even sure I can.
You might have to type it.
I might have to type it. I don't do well typing, man. Not my thing.
Mary says, I've been bracing myself for the price tag. I'm seriously tearing up. You do not know how much I needed this. Awesome.
There you go.
So yeah, that's the deal. You're going to get it free. And I wanted Daniel to come in and do the whole sales pitch for you.
And we're not done yet.
I wanted you to be ready and able to buy, because I want you to feel what your customers or your prospects are going to feel when you present this offer to them, because we are going to make this an evergreen funnel. It is going to take a little time for us to do this, because Daniel has never done an evergreen funnel with this offer before. He only promotes this via private webinars. So he you know, a company or somebody like Jason or I would come in and say, Daniel, I want to do this webinar for my audience. Daniel comes in and does this whole webinar specific to that audience. We're going to be working with Daniel to create initially a live webinar, and then take the recording of that webinar and make it evergreen. And we have some plans. We're going to test it out, see how that goes. But basically, you've seen the entire pitch, right?
Oh, actually, they haven't. It goes on.
It goes on. Okay, you've seen 90+% of the pitch.
It actually gets better, if you can believe it.
I believe it, man, because this is pretty darn awesome, right? So I wanted you to experience it, because this is going to be the experience. Now, out of curiosity, how much did you think this was going to cost and you were going to buy if it cost that much? I'm just curious. And I'll tell you what the offer is going to be. Yeah, so ranging from 200 bucks to 300, 400, 400, 500, 1,000, 1,497, 3 to 500. Yeah. So Daniel, the offer on the webinar, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be $297. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be a $297 product with, I believe, is it a 50% commission, Daniel?
50% commission.
50% commission to you as an affiliate triad member who's going to promote this if you choose to promote it. Now, what we're going to do is over the coming weeks, we're going to develop the funnels for this and work out some technical details with Daniel and his team to make sure that we can get this into your hands as an evergreen funnel. And as far as you getting it for free, you're going to have to give us a few days. So probably I'd expect sometime mid next week, we have to get member records, CSV files to Daniel, and we have to clean some of that up. And then you will get access instructions via email when we get that done. So there you go. That's one of my surprises for you that I promised in my announcement. That was one of my WMTs. And if you don't know what a WMT is, it's a Will Matos tease coined by our friend, I believe, Stephen West. He calls many of my posts WMTs because I like to tease affiliate triad members of upcoming stuff. I will tease you a little bit more today since I can't help myself. We have some really big stuff coming besides this. This is big, but we have some other big and cool news coming in next week and then a couple of weeks later after that. So you're just, let me just say this. Affiliate Triad is just beginning. We're at the infancy of Affiliate Triad and what it's going to be. So you're in the right place. So
definitely in Daniel, the right place.
I appreciate you and I appreciate you, John, taking the time and giving this incredible lesson and most of all giving Affiliate Triad members an opportunity to fully evaluate the entire course for 30 days. And then the ability for us to create an evergreen funnel for this offer that I think is going to help so many people. So do you have any questions for Daniel and for John? Again, remember, you're going to see the course. So let's not ask technical questions about the course. Does it do this? Does it do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? You're going to get the course. So wait for that. Do you have any other questions or any other comments for Daniel or John while we have them? And Daniel and John, do you have any additional comments or anything else you'd like to share with our members? I want to be very, very cognizant of your time today.
Daniel, will we let them into the Facebook group?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's what I told them, that I would see them there. And I promised to make a typographic for the Content Forever program.
Oh, nice.
A lead generator typographic, and I'll share that in the Facebook group.
Yeah, we should probably do a couple of those, but we'll talk more about that.
I'll be happy to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you're getting not only the course, but you're getting a done for you bonus as well. That's incredible.
Yes,
that is
absolutely.
Awesome. So the question is, after 30 days, if you'd like to keep access to the course, then yes, then you can buy it, and we will provide you a link to buy it from to make sure that you get that, not the $497 price, but the $297 price, which is the deal. But keep in mind that you will have full access to the course for a full 30 days. So I hope you consume it, because you should be using this training, this material, to build your lists. And they're going to teach you how to build your list with it. So this isn't, I'm going to say this, I say this so often, Affiliate Triad members often make the mistake of focusing all their efforts on the monthly promos when it comes to driving traffic. The monthly promos are too short for that. Paid traffic, solo ads, Pinterest traffic, Facebook traffic, it doesn't work very well for the monthly promos because you can't optimize, you don't have time to build. What you should do is you should use these strategies to put out evergreen offers and pins that are evergreen, that lead to a lead capture, that take a visitor to a lead capture mechanism of some kind, whether it's a lead magnet of something or a low ticket product or something that will allow you to capture the lead, get them on your email list. Then you use that email list to promote the monthly offers.
Exactly.
So
That's what I do. It's exactly what I do.
Yeah, and you mentioned that on the webinar. You just build your list with this stuff, right? And I saw, John, you answering several people in the chat. It's like, don't take them directly to the product you want to sell. Take them to a lead capture mechanism first. Capture the lead. Because if you get a click from Pinterest to offer, you got one click. That's it. You got one click, right? If you get a click to an opt-in and then that person opts in, you can generate a lot of clicks from that one Pinterest click, because you can email that person over and over and over and over and over and over again, you know? So you want to take one click and multiply it. And that's what an email list does, right? So a lot of Affiliate Triad members have been missing this, and we've been talking about this over and over in Slack. And we're going to do some more training on this. We know that Affiliate Triad, one of the things that we haven't done is structure it very well. It's been an implementation program from the beginning, but it isn't very well structured. We're going to work on putting together a little bit more structure towards Affiliate Triad and indoctrination of members. And that's going to benefit new members, but it's going to benefit veteran members as well, because we want you to follow a process. At the end of the day, we want you to build an email list, okay? And this is a perfect opportunity. But you can also make money while you build an email list in the process. And this is what these guys teach you. So you can have the best of both worlds. So you talked about e-commerce and Pinterest being a match made in heaven. I think Affiliate Triad and this course are a match made in heaven.
Indeed. Indeed.
And so, Anita said, you know, we could create group boards for Triad members. And I think that's a great idea. Because you could create multiple group boards for the Triad members.
I was thinking exactly the same. Affiliate Triad members should get together and discuss this in the chat,
right?
About creating shared boards, for sure. Group boards, for sure. Affiliate Triad members should be doing that together.
Yes.
Well, that's the other thing that I just wanted to say, since we're mentioning this now. That's yet another one of the many bonuses that that you get, is we already have 4 group boards that your customers can join. One's called Tips. Great. Another's called Great Gift Ideas for Men. Another Great Gift Ideas for Women, and a fourth one called Motivational Inspirational Quotes. And the cool thing about this is that each and every one of them has at least 10,000 followers. So basically this is like, this is like getting an instant audience of 10,000 people that you get. So yes, we could definitely do, we could put together an Affiliate Triad group board like this. And that's I think that's a great idea. It's a great idea. But I also wanted to let you know that this is another thing that your customers get.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, and then the other thing, if I have just a second, that I will just say that for Affiliate Triad members, let me just tell you something, and this really comes from the bottom of my heart. I am a millionaire today because of 4 people, and on that list is our good friend Jason Fladlin. The fact that you are here and studying and acting with Jason and Will, you could not be in better hands. Okay, so I once again, I want to just encourage you to continue. Sometimes the things aren't, don't go well, but that's just the nature of life. Stay with it. Follow these 2. You're going to be very, very, very happy that you did. I can guarantee you that. I wanted to just say that.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much. So, again, thank you, Daniel, for being here. Thank you, John, for being here, for all the tips you shared, for building the excitement. We're going to get this replay out sometime later today and post it in Slack and in the members area. I'm going to ask, for those of you who are live, don't share what the secret was, what the surprise was. Let members find out themselves as they watch it through, so they get that excitement and the built up expectation throughout the webinar, because it'll help them get excited about promoting this and actually using this. Oftentimes, if we just say, hey, you get this for free, people will say like, okay, that's cool, thanks, and they don't pay attention to it. So please let the WMT stand let the Will Matos cheese stand for those members who could not make it live, and allow them the opportunity to discover the surprise exactly like you did. So I ask you for that favor. Anyway, I think we're good. I will post more information in Slack over the coming days. Again, I expect that, please be patient with us. Give or take Wednesday next week, give or take a day for us to give you access, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Will. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you. And Heather, thanks to you. Appreciate you as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, bro. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.